Come get your money. Paylake Carp fishing with Donald Barrow.
Hey, this is Donald Barrow. Come get your money. Uh, Gotta apologize. I've had a rash of technical difficulties. It started it started Saturday. We changed our plan. We're gonna fish a lake and fish with oats, and I was gonna make a what's in the bucket, and we had to pivot. Went to Carltons, got there early, made a trip to pick up some barbecue chicken. Saw a sign. It was for charity, and it was at a fire station, and it was awesome. But I got back, still was early, so I said, "All right, I'll film what's in the bucket, make some chow." Chow is It's a chow lake at Carlton's, and making egg white chow is something I used to do quite a bit. Haven't been using it a lot this year. Been using syrup chow all year and doing great, but I didn't have enough syrup chow, and I needed to make something at the lake. And I could have went with Mountain Dew or cream corn or just pond water will make chow, but I prefer egg whites. I was fishing one time at Creekside, weighing in a fish. I was walking it because I don't know why. Usually you ride the cart, but I was walking back, and every every shed had a carton of egg white in it. So it was pretty popular, but one of the most popular ways I think to make chow. And so I'm sitting on the side of the road filming, lights good. Uh, was interrupted. People were driving by and waving and yelling, "What's in the bucket?" And I'm laughing about it and having a good time talking. I love that. I just absolutely love it. Um, Got the tape in. Looked at the tape Monday, getting ready to publish it, and the chicken that I ate was down the front of my shirt. I look like a moron. So if I published it, my wife would kill me. So I let that one go. That chow, I'll make that, you know, as do a real recipe on that, and it's not my recipe, but it works. So I might as well put out how I make it. I do little tweaks, but everybody does. So went fishing, got spot 19. Love that spot, middle on the road when you drive in. It's a healthy throw, but it's got trees overhead. I had to walk to the 20 spot or over to the 18 spot to throw to get out to the rope, which was a mistake. Uh, didn't need to be out at the rope. I think all night I caught one fish at the rope, kind of late, but uh, the fishing was slow. We um, I just started trying things. I had thrown rice, I'd thrown uh, soybean, and my new chow that I made up, the egg white chow, uh, and nothing was working, but nobody was lighting it on fire on the road where we were at. There would be fish being caught, and that was pretty good for Carlton's when it was pretty full. And I think they had 35, 38, something like that. They had a pretty good pond full of people, 5 rods. It's a good way to shut down the lake, but the lake held up. Where I was fishing, not so much. And the guy next to me was catching, and he told me, "Oh, I'm using Pig Flipper VBN, like you said." I was like, "Great." Uh, so of course I used some more VBN, but uh, and they worked. Uh, I don't think it was the pickups per se, as more as once the fish came to my spot and started biting. Uh, I had Andy and his son. I'm not sure of his last name. came by. They were on the opposite side of the pond, and it's awesome to see his son. He's got a young son, uh, and I don't know if Andy lets him hit the fish, or Andy can't help it because the kid is quick. I see them running and striking fish like a, you know, like a flash. He was boom, he'd hit the fish. He knew what he was doing. So I have a 3-year-old grandson that my dream is in a year or two I'll be able to take him to the pond, and he'll be the same way. So fishing was slow. Oh, Andy says, "Oh, I'm catching fish." I said, "What are you catching?" "Oh, we're using your prison grits." It's like the one thing I didn't take is grits, and I should have known better because grits is a real good fall bait. Um, I've not used grits a lot at Carltons. I use chow. Uh, I remember Ron's wife. Um, I don't know his last name, like regular, and his wife. She's like, "You use chow, dummy." So I was like, "Yeah, use chow." Oh, I started my day when I first cast out. I walked out to the with my new wicket reel, uh, and I said, I better get a cast in or two before, I had just thrown the line on and I got distracted. I looked down, next thing you know, all the line is spooled off or backlashed, and the line just exploded because it wasn't tight. And I'm mad, and I'm trying to unbacklash it, and made it worse by pulling hard because I was hurrying. And next thing you know, I've got a big mess. I cut it off, and I was so mad. I started cutting away the backlashes with the scissors, and it was backlash halfway to the spool. So I felt like a dummy. Uh, and I just put on a spare reel and we went after it. I took a couple small buffs, a couple small yellows. I was just happy to catch fish, and then we started catching fish, and people around me started catching fish. I was just happy. I was like, woo! I was throwing my chow, and I was like, I didn't know my shirt was ruined, and I was like, wow, I just wasted that video because, who wants to know what's in my bucket if I'm not catching any fish? It'd be like, yeah, I want to know what not to use. But like I said, I started catching fish. Took a decent yellow and a nicer buff, but needed a 20 to get a spot, and I lucked out. I had one. I had him at all distances, and I noticed some of the fish guys right and left of me were coming off medium to short throws. Not all at the rope. Some were coming from the rope, but I wasn't catching fish from the rope. But I took I think it was 22-3 yellow at 20 feet out. It wasn't a monster, but for that night, I think it was second or third big. It was a decent fish. I love Bridget Southern. She was gonna. I forgot my phone, but she was gonna yell out, "Come get your money, Donald Barrow," when I won the hour. But I told her to wait. So I could get my phone and record it and then make it my new intro. And instead, she forgot what the saying, and then wrote, "What's in the bucket?" because she just saw that video, or a video, and it was just great. It was fun. I snagged a big fish after that. I'll be honest, kind of shook it off. It just wouldn't weigh it. I don't know the rules at Carltons about snagged fish, but some lakes it's illegal. They don't. A lot of lakes they don't have a policy because it causes too much drama. Did he snag it? Did he not snag it? Did he purposely try to snag it? Or was it an accident? If it's an accident, that should be legal. If he's trying to snag, that's illegal. Blah blah blah. I wasn't trying to snag. I was winding in, and honestly, I really thought he hit my bait when it was being drug in, but when I was bringing him up, you could tell he was hooked. It was in the back of his fin, and I was just leaving it, and he pulled it out, and like I said, it would have been too tempting. It was a buffalo, and it was over 20. It would have been tempting, to pick it up and go pick up $40, but now everybody knows me. I can't do that, but I wouldn't have did it before. It is what it is. I just felt better about that. After that, I saw something I'd never seen. Well, yeah, everybody tells you, oh, buffalo and yellows don't mix. They fight, and the buffaloes chase the yellows off. I've not seen it underwater footage of that. I don't know if I ever will, but I've seen a couple of weeks ago I was fishing, and I took a yellow. It was the winning yellow, but it looked like it had been spawning. And I knew I'd caught buffalo. I was catching buffalo all night, and I knew it went to war with the buffaloes. And it really wasn't winning, but it was hungry, so it ate my bait. At Carltons, you would have thought they were spawning towards the rope. Fish were just going round and round, and I was like so jealous because it was 2 spots away. But towards the end of the night, that craziness was right in front of me, and I was like, yes, I've got baits all over out there, and never caught a fish. Saw the nicest buffalo just jump from the middle of that. They started smacking each other, and saw the biggest buffalo just jump out of the water. And fish, it was like a feeding frenzy. And I can't tell you who was winning, the buffalo or the yellows, but they were rumbling. they were rumbling. So it was cool to see something new like that. I guess they don't get along. I seen it with my own eyes. So that's all I have. I got to tell you this. There was. I'll say something. I was using the hooks from last week, so the Carp Reapers and the Oinker 2s and the Gorillas MP 1/0s. I've got them all on my rods. Every rod has a different set of hooks, and none of my hooks were an issue, so I was happy there. Ended up using hot VBN pig flippers. No surprise, I've been using a lot of that lately. And I didn't even say the Wicked Flavor, was the Maximum Concord, the grape. And I'm a big fan of Simfo grape. You can't buy it, never can find it anymore. I should never have said anything. But I had a bottle of Maximum Concord. And I got to be honest, it's not everything I use is the best, but this Maximum Concord smells like all the other Concords. It smells, I used to use R&W, Bubba's, and little Concord grapes. You catch on one, that becomes your grape. And man, I've used about 4 or 5 different grapes, and to either good or bad, but I've always done good on Concord grape for whatever reason. And it does smell a little different than regular grape. I can smell what Concord is. Sounds crazy because when you first smell it, it's grape. I don't care what kind of grape it is, it's grape. But Concord grape has a little distinguishing flavor. And it's right. It was right. That's the flavor that works for me, and I used it, and it worked. Once the fish were in, I dialed in the pickups. I was dipping, and then I wasn't, didn't seem to make a difference. I thought it did because I started dipping hard, and I started catching fish. But then I tipped over the dip thing bucket. You know, at the end of the night, we were rubbing baits on the tailgate to get the dip. It was like, don't get out a new dip, and we were catching fish. And it turned out from a lousy night to, I think we caught 11 or 12 fish. So it was a great night, a good night, and catching the big buff or buff. It was a yellow. That was icing. That was great. Um, that's it, I think. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Sorry, I try to set a goal to post every Monday night, but there was Monday night football with my Detroit Lions. Um, I gotta tell you, I've wasted more footage. I'm trying everything, even a sound mixer, so people won't say, "Hey Donald, we can't hear you." And this worked great the last couple of videos, and then it didn't. So I got to figure out what the heck I did wrong with it, and then I got to use a mixer. I got to listen to my voice in headphones, and that's misery. You putting up with my voice bad enough on this video, but putting it up through headphones, ay ay ay. But thank you. Hope you like and subscribe. I was always amazed. I say this every time.
I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe. And thank you. Appreciate it.